Hello everybody, today I'm doing something a little different, and that is going to be not really a guide, but kind of more of a review on some of the vehicles in this game. So today's episode is going to be the Hydra. So, right off the bat, get this thing before the laser, because this thing is a lot better. So yeah. That's just going to be like a quick note before the video actually starts. So yeah, anyway, put on your helmet, get your G suit ready, and let's hop in. Alright, so the cockpit looks, well, I'm not sure what a real jet cockpit would look like, but I'm pretty sure this is what it actually would look like. We have all of your controls up here, like cannon and stuff. And then we have, if you look at the bottom right corner, you can slightly see the map of Los Santos right there. And we have two little sticks there, which is actually something in a real jet. That there are two of the little sticks there to shoot missiles and cannon and stuff. Alright, so what this jet is based off of is the British fighter jet known as the Harrier, which went out of commission in 2010, at least in the British Air Force and Marines. It is still in use in some other countries, but that's the country that created it. Its first prototype was in, I think, the 1960s or 70s, and this jet is based off of the more modern version. So, you might be asking, what makes this thing better than the laser? Well, first of all, it's a VTOL mode, which means it can hover. So it makes it easier for using something like the explosive cannon to get a more accurate shot and instead of just spraying and praying basically. And it also makes it much faster to take off because you don't have to like run down the runway a lot, like run all the way down the runway. And it makes it look cooler too. It looks almost like not real, but this is something that this jet actually did. One thing though that the laser does have better than the Hydra is that excuse me, is that it's more maneuverable, the laser. This thing, because it's more bulkier, it doesn't turn as good as the laser. So yeah, but its missiles have really good tracking too. So yeah. As for flying, this thing, because it's a jet, it does really fly well. It is good for maneuvering, but because it is a Pegasus vehicle, you cannot put any countermeasures or liveries, new weapons, anything like that. You can only change the color of it. So yeah, that's sad, but the same thing is with the laser. And it also, because of its VTOL mode, makes it a lot easier to slow down in the air and also land for some people who've just started flying in this game and have a little trouble with landing and slowing down in the sky. It makes it a lot better. It also makes it be able to land anywhere. Like I just landed on this beach, like for example. And you can even fly on top of Maze Bank, which makes it a lot better than the laser. Not only that, price. Now, the aircraft itself can be found on Warstock, Cache, and Carry, as long as with all the other weaponized jets in this game as of 2021. And if we look down here, see, we have the laser right here, P996 laser, an absurd $6.5 million. And if we scroll down a little more, it was actually one of the first vehicles added to GTA Online besides from like these vehicles, which were the first added into the game. But its price is a lot better than the laser. This is worth the $3.9 million. And you can get it for trade price of $3 million if you complete the Humane Labs deliver an EMP. Because that's where this vehicle appears in the game. It's in that setup for the humane lab. Now, whenever it comes to seating, like most other jets in this game, fighter jets specifically, it only holds one person, but that's alright. And whenever it comes to weaponry, it has two main weapons, which are homing missiles, which have very good tracking and are pretty good at taking out something like the Oppressor, which has been, as you know, plaguing the GTA lobbies for about 3 years almost now. And these missiles can also go quite far, as you'll be able to see right there, almost across, about halfway across this runway or so, like half and 1/4 maybe. And the main weapon you'll be seeing on this thing, if you're on the ground for people who need air support, is obviously the explosive cannon, which, like the laser, is pretty good. It's very good, and because of its VTOL mode, it makes it even more deadly. It makes it much more precise with its targets because you're going much slower, and the hovering ability. So yeah, it also, the explosive cannon has a very good range too. Not super far, but like a good range. So yeah, let's see how far it can go. So, we're gonna use this plane here in that hangar. So I'd say that's about 150 feet, or about maybe about like 10. I don't know my meters well, but maybe like 10-20 meters or so, which is pretty good for a fighter jet. It's not the longest range of the explosive cannon in the game. That would go to something like the Strike Force, which has a longer range, but it is a very deadly weapon that is, it'll hurt you, that's for sure. Now, whenever it comes to actually defeating a Hydra, which is like weaknesses, is definitely explosive snipers. I don't know exactly how many shots it'll take. I would assume around 3 or 4. But that is a really deadly thing for a Hydra. Another thing that could work is if you're on the ground and the Hydra is like diving to you, like dive bombing to you, try and snipe the pilot out of it, because that would be really the only good chance you can to do something like that. And yeah, that was basically the Hydra. Now, this is a very good vehicle. I would recommend having it to be a very good, because it is a very good vehicle. And yeah, you also don't need a hangar for it. You just need to call Pegasus for it. So I would definitely invest in this jet if you don't have it already. And yeah, so if you want to see more of this type of content, let me know by liking the video or subscribing, and in the comments tell me what vehicle you would like to see me review next. Anyway, bye. Have a magnificent and beautiful day or night, depending on whenever you're watching this. Bye-bye.